Hi everyone, and welcome to the Gemini March 2023 weekly Tarot Bite reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. Now this reading is meant to be a quick mini reading to take a look at the energies of the week ahead. So I'll be pulling a card here first to really take a look at the overarching theme for the week, and then I'll be pulling additional cards to take a look at the doorway that Spirit is opening for you, and that if you are courageous enough to walk through it, that you will be able to stay in flow with your path towards spiritual growth, self-awareness, and personal illumination of your purpose and meaning, which is what I attribute to your spiritual importance. How are you here to serve the greater collective experience? So let's see. Gemini. What does Gemini need to know about the week ahead? Okay. Ooh, so we have 3. Your message may come out a lot like Scorpio's this week, where it was a very long reading instead of a mini reading. Okay, so we have Grasshopper Spirit. It says, take a leap of faith, number 30. Breaking down to the energy of the 3 in numerology, which is the number of creativity, it's the number of divinity, it's also the number of greeting life with the innocence of a child. There's a lot of, I like to take a leap of faith. There's like a fresh start energy coming forward here with Grasshopper Spirit. Then we have Stag Spirit, take the lead, number 58, which breaks down to the number 13. Number 13 kind of harnesses the energy of Scorpio, the death and transformation, but it's also 13 further breaks down to the number 4, building a firm foundation. So it's almost like many of you might have to take the lead in dismantling something you've already built and creating a new foundation from that. And then we have give with gratitude and grace, Turkey Spirit, number 61, breaking down to the number 7, which is the number of it is the number of spirit, truly. It's the number of understanding the confidence we have when we really know that we are who we are and we are in this way because we have been created in this way. So there's a confidence that comes when we understand our spiritual importance. This is a very clear message here. Take a leap of faith, take the lead, give with gratitude and grace. There really is, this is a point for many of you Geminis out there where it's time to really put yourself out there, or there's been a change that you know, a foundation that needs to be dismantled and reformed into something new, and you're really being asked this week to do that. And it may be that something comes in, we'll pull additional cards that might influence you to do that this week. But I like also that the give with gratitude and grace is coming in here as well, because sometimes we can get to this point where we are so focused on ourself, or so focused on the change that needs to be made or that is coming in, that we forget that at the same time, as we're expecting something to change, or as we're changing, that we also have to be grateful for everything that we have in this moment, even if it's not what the ultimate experience we're hoping for, or even if we have to walk away from something. There's something here around really getting into that place of gratitude for how far you've come, what you've created for yourself, what you've experienced, and maybe it's about giving that up with gratitude. Maybe many of you have come a long way, but there's something now that needs to change that might force you to release something you have long been building, or something you've long even been carrying with you. But it can also get to this place too, when we're hyper fixated on ourselves and the changes we're going through. We also have to remember that we always, we kind of give what we get and we get what we give. There's this interplay of when you think of the infinity symbol, it's kind of like that. So the more we give graciously, the more we understand that it'll be returned to us. And sometimes when we go through periods of change, we can get fearful. We can get to that place of, well, I know this person is in need and I could help give money or time or energy, but I'm in a place where I don't know where my money and time and energy is going to shake out. And so we hold ourselves back from giving in that moment when we know on an intuitive level we feel called to do so. So there's something here around really just getting into that place of spiritual confidence to know that what you give will be returned. So if you've been giving a lot of time to others, know that in your time of need, that will be returned to you. Okay. So let's go ahead here and see what this doorway is that's opening up for you guys this week. Okay. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, many of you have been working hard on something. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is. So this is the doorway. So whatever you have been diligently working towards, whether this is building the foundation for, this can be perfecting a skill set. This could literally be that day to day you have been working on perfecting being whatever you do in your work. Or this could be that you have been putting your head down to build the family life that you really want. Or you're putting your head down to become more active in your community. But there's something here with the Eight of Pentacles. It really speaks to you're doing kind of the same thing over and over and over and over again. You are really getting good at something, or you have become very proficient in something. And this might be that now is the time to take this. When you see the individual, he's very focused. He has his head down and he's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And he's kind of, you notice there's no one else in this image. It's just him. And he's sitting outside. You can see the little tiny, I know this is such a small card, but for those of you who can't see it here, if I can get it into focus, there's a little tiny town with a castle in the back. And he's not in it. He's out on his own, out here, just doing something, working. And I get this feeling that now is the time to really take whatever this has been, whatever skill set you've collected or created for yourself here or really worked on. It's time now to almost pick your head up and take this back towards the world or the town or the community or whatever it is, maybe even in your workplace. Maybe this could be for some of you, you've been on the side going back to school to get a master's degree, or you've been diligently studying something else. And it might be now to come to your place of work and say, okay, I have the degree, or I took these master classes and now I would really like to be able to apply those in my place of work. But there's something here around, it's time now to take this. And with the take the lead and take a leap of faith, it's time now to take this into the collective experience to see where this can take you. This would be for those of you who, let's say, we can just pick something. Maybe you had an Etsy shop and you were diligently learning how to make a specific type of jewelry. You were learning how to, whatever that is. I don't know how to make jewelry. I don't know why I'm using this as an example, but I am. So we're going to go with it. And so you kind of laid the foundation for the Etsy shop, but you haven't actually made it public and you haven't actually told any of your friends that this is what you've been doing. And now I feel like this is the week to finally push the publish button on the Etsy shop. And it's time to put out the email blast. And it's time to fully make everyone aware that this change has happened, or that you've been working on this thing in your life and you're ready to move forward on maybe this was a side hustle. And now you're ready to say, I want this to be my main hustle. Or I want whatever the skill set is that I've developed, I now want to take it into a new realm. And the more that we take a leap of faith to bring it into the collective awareness, meaning the more you talk about it with your friends and your family, the more you talk about it within your sphere of influence, the more you're going to see, I think, a ripple effect. What was interesting, Gemini, I wasn't going to say it, but when I was getting into your energy before starting this reading, I actually heard the hoot hoot of an owl. And the owl to me always represents the divine higher knowledge, wisdom, spirit itself, the kind of God figure for me. But I actually heard the word who, it was asking a question, who? And so maybe this is what's coming in. It's who is going to show me what to do with this skill set? Who is going to help me show me where all of that I've been working on for could be many years, even for some of you. Who is going to be the buyer of my product? Who is going to show me now where I can apply this in a new way? Who's going to come in and be my mentor or my teacher? There's something here about that. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Okay. So now let's see what Spirit would like you to know around the concept of courage. So Spirit's hoping that you'll have the courage to surrender to the message on this card so that you will have the faith to take the lead and take the leap around something you've been long working on or towards, a skill set you've perfected, and it's maybe taking it to another application, or simply just, again, sharing it with others so that others may then say, wow, yeah, we'll help you turn this into your full-time hustle. We want to buy your jewelry. Or, hey, have you thought about doing it like this? Or have you thought about joining this community? Or, whatever it is. But there's something here around the time is now to share it. To share it, and there may be something new. Taking a leap of faith and taking the lead. There is definitely new energy coming in. And for some of you, it may mean taking an old foundation and kind of breaking it down to start the foundation for something new. Okay, so let's see. What does Gemini need to know about the concept of courage for this week? There we go. Surrender your attachment to results. Love this. This is always the hardest one for us, right? We're like, we want to take the leap, but then we're like, what if it doesn't happen the way I want it to? But this is always the fun part of our experience, because generally, in my experience, when we take the leap despite not knowing exactly what's going to come in, we tend to be odd. We make room for the miracle to come in, for something even better beyond our imagination, beyond what we were hoping for. And that's how we get rewarded when we when we have the courage to take that leap. It says the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So this can be like where you are so focused on, I'm going to have my Etsy shop, I'm going to make money through Etsy, and this is how it's going to happen. So you take the leap and you push publish, and suddenly you have your Etsy shop, and no one seems to be buying on your Etsy shop. But then you go out into, again, your sphere of influence, and you tell your friends and your family, and maybe even your current, 9-to-5 job, you tell a coworker, and you're like, I love wearing this stuff. This is my passion. It's what I love doing. And suddenly a friend of a friend calls and says, I have a boutique in a cute historic downtown location, and I've been looking for a local jewelry maker who would supply to my retail store. Would you be interested in giving pieces to that? And suddenly now you are so focused on I want to make this Etsy shop work. I've been doing all of this stuff to make the online aspect work. And suddenly now you have a whole nother avenue for sale, or for a way to actually take what you've been working on and utilize it. So keep that in mind, that the more we share what we're doing, the more we share what we're passionate about, the more we share what we're proficient in, the more we get opportunities to express that in new and unique ways. And this is a time for spiritual growth for many of you, because you're being pushed to do something new. So really keep that in mind here. So let's now go ahead and pull a final card for the concept of contemplation. And this is what Spirit would like you to keep in mind as a point of meditation for the week ahead, to really ground you each day in the message that's being shown here. So let's see what Gemini needs. I think for many of you, you're going to be surprised at Yeah. At what the skill set is going to bring in for you. So, Warrior Woman, it says, have you answered your deepest calling? With this card specifically has come out now, even though I've shuffled this deck so many times. It's come out for, I don't know, 4 or 5 different readings this week. So, this is a week where we're really being asked to evaluate who we are on a deep I am soul-based level. And she holds the sword of truth. This is like the Ace of Swords in the tarot, which is the sword of clarity. It's the sword of that kind of aha moment we have when we get a chance to see a part of our personal truth. Have you answered your deepest calling? I think for many of you, you're going to realize that maybe not. When we think about the example I've been using with the Etsy store, the person could have been just simply making jewelry because it felt good. It was within their creative wheelhouse. It was something tangible. They like to work with their hands. They love to make things that are pretty. But suddenly there may be a much larger application for that. It could be something where they realize that this is a form of artistic self-expression they never understood before, and there might be a larger application for that. That this might lead them into maybe getting into the realm of teaching art, or this could be where suddenly they realize they can use this skill set to draw attention to a environmental or passion project that they would love to maybe start a nonprofit around. And the jewelry is just part of drawing attention to something larger than themselves. But there is something here around, I think, for many of you. If you can take this leap of faith, get ready to take a skill set out into the public and to see who, as that owl, who comes in to show you something that might be more in alignment with who you are and with a truth to yourself that might become incredibly fulfilling for you. All right, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. I will be releasing April's more expanded illumination readings for each sign next week, and that's where it'll be about a 30 to 40-minute reading where we dive a little deeper into the themes for April. If you're interested in that, you can subscribe to the channel to see as soon as those are released. Otherwise, I will see you again, hopefully in your next reading. Bye, Gemini.